My name is Keith Cook. I'm British fencing champion, 6 times Commonwealth medalist. I stumbled into the sport at age 11 years old and it's transformed my life ever since. I was brought up in Pilton, a disadvantaged area of Edinburgh. When I looked out my window, all I seen was concrete. I had one dream when I was younger, and that dream was to have a garden. That was it. I didn't want to be Olympic champion, world champion, all I wanted was a garden, but I didn't know how I was going to get it. To make things harder for me, I had quite a disruptive family life. My father was an alcoholic, drug addict, domestic violence, and we moved away from my dad when I was 8 years old, and we ended up in Pilton. I found it hard in school. I was usually the one in the back of the class, arms crossed, avoiding eye contact at all costs. The reason for that is because I'm dyslexic. I find it hard reading and writing, so I didn't have that mental toughness to put my hand up in class and ask a question, because I felt vulnerable, I felt angry, frustrated. I didn't know why I was finding certain things hard. So unfortunately I came out in a negative way. I was mucking about in class to hide that I was having problems. But there's certain subjects in school that I did like, and of course that was PE. I didn't have a phone or a telly in my house. We were really poor. I hardly had a pair of trainers. And I was lucky because my gran did have a telly, and that was my first glimpse of fencing. It was Star Wars. I remember sitting in front of the telly and watching Luke Skywalker press his button and the blue neon light comes flying out. And I thought, how cool is that? And I remember rolling up a paper, sellotaping the end, and fencing my gran, and forgetting the problems I was having at home in Pilton and at school. By luck, I had a friend of a friend who had a fencing club at school. I didn't have a fencing club at my school, and he had one of the swords. When I went along to his house, he had one of the swords of foil in his house, and he says to me, "Keith, why don't you come along to my school championships and see what it's all about?" And I thought, that's just for posh people. And I thought, I was basically trying to make excuses of why I shouldn't actually go. I found it hard being around certain people having a speech impediment, being out my bubble of Pilton, what I knew so well. Being out there actually scared me. But I remember talking to my mum about it, and Mum was such an inspirational figure in my life. She goes, "Keith, if you don't go, you'll never know. You have to step out your comfort zone." And when I went along, I couldn't believe how amazing this sport was. I felt like something a James Bond film, putting on the mask, all the kit, attacking, defending. The coach there was really encouraging, a guy called Norrie Miller, who showed me how to attack, how to defend. I got to fence a few people. I remember running back home and saying, "Mum, I found my sport, that's fencing." She's going, "Fencing? Nobody in Pilton does fencing." I said, "I don't care what everybody else does. I want to be me. I want to do something different." But if you want to get better at something, of course, you have to train. So Mum found out where the local club was, and it was at the Commonwealth Pool. It's 5 miles there and 5 miles back. Mum couldn't afford bus fare, but she could afford one night a week for me to train. So I used to run or borrow my friend's bike and cycle 5 miles there and 5 miles back once a week on a Wednesday. And it taught me skills that stay with me to today. If you want to achieve something, you have to work hard for it, and nobody's going to put a medal around your neck just for the sake of it. I went to my first competition, and I came last. I was gutted. I threw down my mask and said what a rubbish sport fencing was, but my coach came over to me and says, "Keith, did you expect to win first time? It's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to fail, that's how you learn. I'm going to give you a goal, and your goal is, I'm going to give one of these swords, and I want you to hit a target 50 times a day. You can pick your target." But for some reason I picked a 10-pence piece. I sellotaped it to my door, stepping forward, lunging, hitting this target and stepping back. I was hitting it 50 times in the morning, 50 times at night. Next competition I went into came second. The competition after that, under 12 Scottish Championships, and ended up winning. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, if you work hard at something, anything's possible in life, I realised. I started to build enthusiasm for school, that it was okay to make mistakes and put my hand up in class. I also had this confidence to actually put my hand up, and I wasn't bothered what other people were thinking, because I had now 2 different sides of me. But after college, became a leisure centre manager, and then got given the opportunity of a lifetime, being part of the Olympic squad for 2012. I was eating, breathing, sleeping and fencing. I was travelling down to London every Monday and come back every Wednesday. I was away from family and friends for 165 days a year. But I was living the dream. When it's a cold day, everybody wants to be beside a radiator because it radiates heat. It's like certain people, they radiate encouragement, enthusiasm, and make you feel really good. You want to be around them like your friends and family. I'm teaching over 1,200 children a week how to fence. But through my failures and my setbacks, I'm trying to develop the next generation to unleash their potentials. I'm trying to make their learning curve faster than it was mine. I don't want them to be me, I want them to be them. I want them to eclipse me. I want them to do bigger and better things. But in order to do that, I've got goals. My goals are to start a charity, to develop the next generation of children coming through. I'm looking at helping these children, and that'll have a knock-on effect to their generation as well, and their children. And who knows, might have 5 Olympians.